Hello and welcome to the Leverage Edu YouTube channel. Today we'll talk about one of the major doubts that people have while planning to study abroad, which is whether to take IELTS or TOEFL as their English proficiency test. It is very difficult to say which is better as both have different exam patterns, different marking schemes and all, but there are various exclusive features of both that I'll elaborate on in this video. And then you can decide for yourself which one is better according to your aptitude. So let's explore some differences between IELTS and TOEFL. First of all, here is the listicle that we are going to follow. And in this video, since we are covering topics of great details and information, we have divided this video into two parts. The first part will cover why are English proficiency scores needed, IELTS and TOEFL's exam pattern, and sections in IELTS and TOEFL exam. The second part will probably talk about the IELTS and TOEFL equivalence scores, the names of the universities that are accepting IELTS and TOEFL scores, and how to decide which one is better for you. Let's begin. Why are English proficiency scores needed? So if you are migrating to an English-speaking country as a non-native migrant for work or education, it is for them to make sure that you are able to interact with the people and the culture there. In order to do so, the first thing that is required is communication. And the English proficiency test evaluates students for their efficiency to communicate in this language and to interact with the global citizenry that they are going to be a part of. To an extent, maybe we all can communicate in English. But just think of it this way. In your native language, there are some idioms, some references that you feel can never be replicated in other language. Similarly, the idea of these exams is to test you on those parameters where you can understand and accommodate the same cultural and popular references in English. Just imagine, what is a balloon called in English? A rolling pin. And what are words like parhez, damakta hua or hukar would be called in English? Still thinking? Let us know in the comments below. Moving on, these words of daily communication are quite important and easy, but not commonly known in English language. To move abroad, candidates have to improve their knowledge of the same. But why through IELTS or TOEFL? IELTS and TOEFL are two of the most famous, most recommended and widely accepted tests to evaluate English language skills. The purpose is almost the same, but the approach is somewhat distinguished. Let us see how. So first of all, we are going to discuss the difference between IELTS and TOEFL exam pattern. The pattern for both these examinations is different despite the fact that both of them have same 4 sections for evaluation: reading, writing, listening and speaking. So let's have a closer look at these exam patterns to know them better. First of all, both of these examinations offer online and offline exam papers. So you have to select the type of exam that you want to pursue by filling out the application form. Nextly, the TOEFL exam duration is 3 hours and 30 minutes while the IELTS exam is 2 hours 45 minutes. The TOEFL scores range is from 0 to 120 whereas IELTS band range is 0 to 9. TOEFL result is released in 10 days while the IELTS take around 13 days to get the results. And if we look at the section-wise weightage and time allotted to each section, that too is quite different. For example, the listening section in IELTS exam has 40 questions which have to be answered in 30 minutes, while the TOEFL exams give 28 to 39 questions which have to be answered in 41 to 57 minutes. Nextly, the 60 minutes reading section in IELTS exam again has 40 questions, while the TOEFL exam has 30 to 40 questions which are to be answered in 54 to 72 minutes. IELTS writing section of 2 questions provides you 60 minutes to answer, while the same number of questions in TOEFL are to be answered in 50 minutes. The speaking section in IELTS has 3 tasks with 11 to 14 minutes to solve them, and TOEFL has 4 tasks for 17 minutes each. That was all about the exam pattern. Now, let's see the difference between exam sections in IELTS and TOEFL. This information is used by many candidates as a deciding factor to choose between these two tests. So both the exams have 4 sections, but the reading section in TOEFL exam assesses the student based on the text of university level content. There are 3 to 4 passages and 10 questions are entailed with each passage. In IELTS exam, the main objective of the reading section is to see how well you understand the author's trail of thoughts through the passage. Again, it has around 3 passages with the different questions with each passage. The listening section in TOEFL exam is also centered around university syllabus. You'll get to practice a lot of classroom lectures and some conversations which are followed by some questions which will test your understanding so far. IELTS listening section has more conversations and other audios which are used to get the measure of your ability and to recall the facts and key points in the conversation. Proceeding to the writing section of the exams, one is tested for their ability to transform ideas into well-structured sentences, paragraphs, and planned writing pieces. How well can you understand and translate your thoughts for a native English speaker is of utmost importance throughout this section. The purpose is same in both the tests. TOEFL evaluates it on the basis of integrated tasks of reading and listening, which takes 3 plus 2 minutes, and then a writing task of 15 minutes, followed by an independent essay task. As for IELTS, it offers 2 questions of essay writing, one of which is short format essay and the other is a long format essay. Lastly, proceeding to the speaking section. Well, of course, for you to live abroad, it is very essential that people over there can understand you and your way of speaking and pronouncing things. It is of utmost importance in getting conversations right. So in the speaking section, TOEFL examiners ask you to speak on a topic and read paragraphs loudly in some of the integrated tasks to mark you for this skill. The IELTS counterpart of the speaking section is more so like a 10 to 15 minute long face-to-face interview. With this, we come to an end of our section-wise evaluation of IELTS and TOEFL test. Stay tuned for the second part of the video to know more about making the right choice between IELTS and TOEFL. If you have any questions or suggestions for this video, please feel free to drop a comment. Subscribe to our channel for more information on study abroad programs and press the bell icon to not miss on any notification. So dream big and choose the best for yourself, and I'll see you in the next video.